If you weren't a boxer, what would you have pursued in your life?
Well, actually, if I wasn't a boxer, I mean, I'll be working, doing what a man supposed to do, taking care of my kids, and just living life.
Oh, so you have a child. Tell
Yes.
us about your child and how you handle that lifestyle of being a professional boxer and being a father.
Well, actually, like I said, I put time in for my son, and actually his name is Elijah, and I love him to death. And like I said, I mean, right now, like I said, he's young. He's 10 months old, and like I said, I'm pretty sure he's gonna respect me once he gets a little older too and understand. Like I said, it was just something I wanted to do. So
So when Elijah looks at this, would you like for Elijah to be a professional boxer too, or whatever he does,
well,
you be?
actually, like I said, I can't make that decision for him. So he would have to be the one who make that decision of his own. Like I wouldn't train him up to be a boxer because that's something that might not be for him. So everybody's different. Everybody's made different.
Okay, how important is it to balance that job, professional boxing, family life into that?
Like I said, I try to put time in for my family, put time in for work, and like I said, and maintain the goal that I always wanted in my life. So like I said, it's kind of hectic, but I put in for it and it pays off.
How important is it to be focused? Because sometimes there's a lot of distraction that may come into your path that may cause you not to remember what you're supposed to do, or
See, that's something I try not to let happen. Like I said, that's why I stay on top. Like I said, I mostly try to stay ahead of myself, so that I can have time for that, and I don't let that personal life interfere with what I have going on.
where do you see Jamikey Woods at 5 years from now?
Actually, just a professional fighter, um, living my life the way I always wanted to live my life, um, getting the things for my kid that I never had in my life.
And as you look back in your life, because you're really young right now, why is it important that Jamikey follow his dream?
Because, like I said, I always been that type of person. Like from where I came up from and where I want to go to. Like I said, I try to put the future ahead of myself. So therefore, it'll give me a goal set to where that's where I want to be at. That's where I want to go to.
Okay, let's talk about Jamikey growing up because you're young. Has life been always as good as it seemed, or have you had a lot of challenges? Or
Well, like I mean, I grew up in a small town called Woodsville, and like I said, it was kind of rough growing up and stuff like that. And coming from where I started at to now, I mean, it's starting to pay off differently, and I know that it'll get better.
how does boxing help those individuals that's out there in the street, get into the gym and to do some positive things?
But actually, what we try to do is to take the guys out the street and put them in the ring, try to keep them out of trouble, and like basically is I mean to keep them on a pedestal to where they can stay out of trouble.
Your trainer, Calvin Seabrooks, he has a program that deals with a lot of youth, and he's really into helping these youth. How does that inspire you to see that individual giving back so much to the community when it comes to the youth, and how does that inspire you?
Well, like I said, it is totally great what he's doing, and the push it and to give back to the community. That's 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 something I would do myself. So, like I said, coming up from where I came from, and like I said, I never had the help that the other people got now. So like I said, I had to come a long way. So like I said, to give back to the community, that's something I would do too.
I know you got some fights coming up in the upcoming future. How do you prepare for those fights, and what advice would you give to our viewing audience who may also be pursuing that goal of being a boxer?
Always just go for what you want. Never give up. Um, Train hard, work hard, play hard.
Oh, you said play hard. What do you mean by playing hard there, Jamikey?
Working hard. As in just,
Uh,
work, do your workout, maintain and stay in shape.
there's a quote that I always talk about is positive thinking creates positive results. What does that mean to you?
Well, actually, it means a lot to me because, like, I hear a lot of guys say that, and like I said, I just maintain and just go for it and try not to think about it.
Mm. Try not to think about it. So when you're going inside that ring, you don't think about what's going on. You don't think about the surrounding or anything like that.
Well, I mean, you that's something you always think about, but like I said, when you get into that ring, it's totally different. Like I said, you not gonna you got to worry about him taking your head out. So like I said, it's totally different from the ring to the outside future.
So when you're sparring prior to these matches, how do you look at your sparring partner?
Practice wise, that's all that is, and that's how I look at that as. Like I said, I spar matches, you trying to take his head off, and it's basically a game there. It's not a win or a lose game. So when you talking about actual matches, it's totally different because you got to worry about this guy coming at you taking your head off. So like I said, it's just the game just is totally different.
Studying your opponent. Why is it important to have some type of knowledge of your opponents, especially what they do prior to that actual fight?
But like I said, by looking at him and knowing what type of fighter he is, like I said, it's the difference between a fighter. I mean, he may be an unorthodox fighter, he may be a southpaw fighter. You got to understand, like, okay, well, if he's this type of fighter, I want to switch up on him, and therefore just go for it.
Okay, when you said switch up, how do you're right-handed.
Right.
Okay, to how do you adjust to a southpaw fighter?
Step out the pockets and swing your foot, come back in on him.
Does it work?
Not all the time. Like
Oh,
I said,
okay.
you try not to you try not to give yourself away.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's basically a mind game. So like I said, I mean, you gotta know what to do once you get in that situation. Like I said when we first started, you in a situation to where you on a rope, and it's like, okay, the first thing gonna come to your mind is step back out the pocket, push him into the rope, and it's like I said, it's a mind game. I mean,
Okay, some of the fighters, prior champions that we've seen is like, okay, Muhammad Ali, you had a Mike Tyson type fighter, you had, I mean, probably the Mayweather. Who would you consider yourself to be in the class of, as far as
I
boxing techniques?
I would say Mayweather, because like I said, he his style is so different. So I would compare in that field as Floyd.
When you see someone like Muhammad Ali, he was one of the best fighters that we've ever had, what does that say to yourself about the sport of boxing?
Like I said, just it tells me a lot. Of just going for what you want, because like I said, that's something that he always wanted, and he did it. So just go for what you want.
Okay, we'll talk about that style Mike Tyson had. Now, Mike Tyson, he goes in there, he just knocks individuals out. I mean, was that a good, I mean, if you had to fight someone like Mike Tyson, how would you handle that? I mean, because he was coming in there knocking out.
Well, actually, like the fight somebody like Mike Tyson, like I said, that's totally different. But like, I would mostly sort of kind of stay back off of him, so he wouldn't get in on me. Because I know by seeing his fights, if he get in on you, it's demolished. So, like I said, I would stay more out the pocket on Mr. Mike Tyson.
Mm. But if you can't, what do you do next? What do you do next, Mister? When you got that Mike Tyson penalty?
If he's coming at me, I throw a couple jabs, sort of kind of slip, get away from him. I mean, that's just something. It's just that mind game. Like I said, you never know what's going on at that time until you actually in the ring and just hands up and going for it. So.
Okay, Mikey, I know we talk a lot about that boxing field and the areas of boxing, but, you know, I mean, when you see a youth in our community and they come to you and they tell you, tell me some things about why I should become a boxer, what would you respond to that?
Well, like I said, like the reason why I always wanted to be is just like I said, totally something that I always wanted to be. And like I said, in my second grade album of my yearbook, it's got professional boxer written right beside it. And like I said, I mean, it's I can't speak for everyone else, but I can speak for myself. So, like I said, I can't just say, okay, well, be a professional boxer. It can take you a long way, which because I don't know. So, like I said, it's a tough decision to make. So.
Mr. Woods, Jamikey, we're running out of time. Thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate you coming on, and keep us informed as far as your boxing, when you're coming up in your boxing, your next fights, and you know, we just appreciate you coming on the show. Best of luck to you.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Jamikey Woods. He's a future champion. Thank you for watching the show. You can watch it on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Google, LinkedIn. You be encouraged. Thank you. The Paul Brown Show. Chief Rodney Monroe to Darrell Williams. Mr. Patrick Cannon, the Mayor Pro Tem of Charlotte, North Carolina. Mr. Calvin Seabrook.
That we need to go out there and we need to do something and set goals and go for it.
There's an opportunity that's always before us. In as much as we can be going through something, there's always a way out of that something.
The Paul Brown Show. You be encouraged.